The following podcast contains adult content. It is not suitable for minors, professional settings, or the faint of heart. Foreplay Goes South is open mic storytelling. Hosted monthly by Metanoia, attendees share their intimate, sultry, salacious tales.
Welcome. I am just Brad. If you guys haven't met me, I am new to the community. And I figured what better way to introduce myself than to share with you one of my most embarrassing moments. Not the most embarrassing moment, just something that happened. Like, I pulled one out of a Rolodex and I was like, the gazebo story, let's go. So poll for the crowd, how many of you were just good at sex early on? Like, you knew, like by 20, you're like, this is my thing. I fuck like a champion. I look good at it. This is great. Yeah, fuck all of you people. I am a late bloomer in all things, and sex was one of those things. I have a touch of the tism, just a touch, enough that I'm really good with movie quotes, but I'm horrible at reading social cues from women. And so usually I just ask, I'm like, oh, do you want me to kiss you now? And they're like, no, I want you to leave. That's my life. So this story takes place when I was a sophomore at a Christian college in Texas. Yes, that's a whole separate trauma. We can talk about it later if you desire. So I had been seeing this girl throughout my freshman year, and it was purely a physical relationship. And what I mean by that is she would call me up when she was horny, and we would just make out a lot. And that was it. Because Christian college, right? If we did any more than that, we were going to hell. Because I grew up in purity culture in the Deep South. And so a magical thing happened for me in between my freshman year and my sophomore year in college. I got laid for the first time. And I was like, I like this. How do I make this happen? But I'm super awkward. So when I got back to school, I was just striking out. Like, it just wasn't working. I was trying to talk to women, and it just didn't happen. Until one fateful night, on Halloween, I get that text. You guys have gotten this text before. Hey, what are you doing? Right? And she was like, hey, do you want to go to the Arboretum? And the Arboretum was the place that we had made out a lot our freshman year. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm feeling froggy. I'm going to go and make out with a chick, yeah. And she texts me, do you think that we need a blanket? And in my mind, I'm like, stargazing, yes! I would love a blanket. That sounds so great. There's a common theme in this story, and it's that Brad's an idiot, okay? And so I pick her up. We get the blanket, and we drive to the Arboretum, and we get there at like 11, and it's closed, right? So we just jump the fence, and we just saunter on up to the gazebo, and I lay out the blanket and lay her down, right? And we just make out for 20 minutes straight. Why? Because I don't know the social script, right? I don't know. She wants me to escalate this. And so finally, she just looks at me and says, I want you to fuck me. And with all the confidence I have, I look at her and go, sure, okay. And in my head, I think, we need to go from having all of the clothes to none of the clothes and as fast as possible, right? And so instead of like undoing my pants like a normal human being, I just drop trowel like I'm 6. I'm like, I'm ready to go now. But it's Halloween. There was a cold front that came through. It's 36 degrees. My boner is immediately gone, right? And I'm like, no. I am desperate to make this happen, right? So I'm like grinding into her, trying to steal her body heat like it's a survival situation, right? And I finally get warm enough and I'm hard, right? And I'm like, cool. And I get inside and it's like 30 seconds in. 30 seconds in, and I'm hit with a bright light in the face, and I hear the voice of God say, what are you children doing out here? The Arboretum is closed. And I look up, and it's the fucking cops. It is my second time being laid ever, and it's in public, and now the police are involved, right? And my first instinct is, fuck this, I'm leaving. And I just take off. But my pants are around my ankles. And so I face plant straight into the ground. I'm going fucking nowhere, right? I've got mud all over my face. And so then I'm doing this dance and I'm like trying to pull up my pants and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm so sorry. And the cops just start laughing because this whole thing is a spectacle and like my ass is super pale, right? And so I finally like get situated, right? And this is one of the times I've worn the steel bracelets in life. And when we were finally like let go, I drove us back home in pure silence. There was just nothing to be said, right? I dropped her off and she never heard from me again because I crawled into a bottle and died from embarrassment. Every single year I tell myself that this is the year I stop doing cringy shit. And then like in January 2nd, I'm like, fuck. 2023, cross that out. 2024, that'll be the year. I feel like I'm a rooting for a failing sports team, and I'm just like, just next season we'll get it. Anyway, so I'm much better than I used to be, but I'm Brad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. If you see me, connect with me. I'm just making friends in the community, and thank you for listening.
This episode of FOREPLAY Goes South podcast was recorded and produced by event host and podcast creator Metanoia. These stories are recorded live every third Tuesday of the month at Petra's in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information about FOREPLAY Goes South, follow us at FOREPLAY GS on Facebook, FetLife, Instagram, and Twitter.